One final example. Let's take a look at this problem. This time we have an application problem. We have some data from a company that makes electric motors. We're told that in each of the following years, numbers 1 through 5, we have sales of, well, 426 million in the first year, up and through 477 million in the fifth year. We're asked in part A to determine a least squares line or a best fit line for these data. So let's bring up the calculator. Turn on the calculator, of course, and remember how we start this. We begin by pressing the Stat key, and we go and edit or enter the information. So press Enter, and to save a little time, I've already entered all the data. Make sure that it's accurate. Make sure that the two lists are of the exact same length, and all looks well. And so our next step is to check and make sure that our stat plot is turned on. In order to do that, press second, the Y equals key, and note that number 1, the first stat plot, is on. It is going to do what's called a scatter plot. That is, it's going to plot the points on the XY plane. The X's are in list 1, the Y's are in list 2, and the type of tick mark it's going to make in the plane is the little box, and all seems well with me. So to move forward, we're going to press the zoom button and go down to zoom 9, press a 9, or go down to zoom 9, which says zoom stat, and press enter, and you will get the 5 points plotted. At this point, you would not have gotten the line. I rehearsed this exercise and did it once already. Let me remove the line once by simply going to the Y equals key, clearing that out, and now you see the 5 points without the line. To determine the line, we go to the Stat menu, we go over to the Calc choice, we go down to number 4, the linear regression, which is the least squares line, sometimes called the best fit line. Press enter, and now we're going to enter some arguments, and those arguments are these. Where are the X's? Well, they're in list 1. Second 1 will bring up L1, standing for list 1. Press a comma. Where are the Y's? Well, they're in list 2. Second 2 is the way you enter list 2. Enter a comma. Where do you want the result to be stored? Press the vars key. Press Y vars over 1. It's a function, and store it as number 1. When all that is entered and looks to be in order, press enter. There is the equation of the line. So let me make a quick snapshot of this. And let me enter it here in our notes. And this means my answer for number 1 answer here is y equals, notice our a is 13.8 x, and our intercept is 413.2. That is the so-called least squares line, sometimes called best fit. You'll hear me call it the best fit line. Next part B asks us to draw the scatter diagram and the least squares line for these data. So what I'm going to do is pick up my calculator again. I'm going to press the graph key. And because we told it to store the resulting line linear equation in y1, now it plots with the points. So let me record that. Not exactly what I wanted. Cancel. Let's try that again. No, it doesn't want to do it. What's wrong here? Cancel. Graph. Gets a little picky sometimes. Let's try that one last time. This time we're going to get it. All right. And let me paste that down there, right? And this is B. And the equation of this line, 13.8x plus 413.2, that's a picture of the line right there, right? And these points are the points at 1, 426. This is the point 2, comma, 437. This point up here is the point at 3, 460. This one up here is at 4, 473. And this final one is at 5, 477. Notice how none of the points is exactly on the line, but the line fits or averages it out. It fits the data as best as we can. So that was part B. Of course, you can't take and copy your calculator display like I just did, but take and make a rough sketch to your paper. And finally, the last question, part C, says predict the upcoming year. Well, isn't the upcoming year going to be the year when x equals 6? So take the equation y equals 13.8, enter the 6 for your x, add 413.2, pick up the calculator, clear, and take 13.8 times 6 and add 413.2 to it. 496 is the result. Let me see if I can copy that successfully. This time it's letting me. So I'll paste that in. And our answer to part C is clearly 496. And what that means is that if this line were extended, there would be a point on the line exactly at 6, 496. And what we're doing is looking out into the future and saying, well, based on past experience, it would seem that we could expect sales in and around $496 million next year.